Hello and welcome to Case Management 205, the Self Sufficiency Matrix. I'm your trainer, HMIS System Lead, Tricia Cano. During this training, we will be working in the Client Point module within ServicePoint. The Self Sufficiency Matrix assessment can be located on the client's record within the Entry/Exit tab. We will review the most commonly used 18 domains and associated 5-point scale of each one. Work through some examples and demonstrate how to input that data into ServicePoint correctly. Please note that if you have any questions, contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thanks. Now let's get started. First, let's talk about the Self-Sufficiency Matrix. The Self-Sufficiency Matrix is a required assessment in some projects in order to report outcomes to funding entities. However, even though it is not a requirement for all projects, any project who wants to track progress can use the tool. The Self-Sufficiency Matrix is used to document a client's progress in your project over time. Depending on the type of project you work in, it is done at varying intervals. For instance, emergency shelters should do the matrix at entry and exit only. Transitional housing should do the matrix at entry every 6 months while in the project and again at exit. And permanent housing projects should do the matrix at entry every year at the time of the client's annual assessment and at exit. Please remember the self-sufficiency matrix must be done on every adult. So, for those projects who work with families, you would do the self-sufficiency matrix not only on the head of household, but any other adults that entered your project as well. You should also be aware that the self-sufficiency matrix is not meant to be handed to a client to fill out themselves. It is a case management tool that the client's case manager should complete based on the information you gather from the client at entry and/or during the first few case management sessions. You should make yourself familiar with the tool so you ask the necessary questions in order to complete all 18 domains. Remember, if you make it a conversation rather than just reading from the tool, you're likely to get a better response. Now, for training purposes today, I will have the domains and their corresponding 5-point scale options up on the computer screen, and we will toggle back and forth while inputting the data into HMIS. If you find it easier to fill out the matrix on paper first and then enter it into HMIS later, you can do that. Contact the HMIS Help Desk if you need a copy of the paper form, though it should have been included in your training confirmation email for this session. The example scenario that I'm going to use today is that I work in a transitional housing project and I have a client who is transferred to me from an emergency shelter project. So once you log into the system, you should get into your Enter Data As mode if necessary for your workflow. So I am going to do that. I will not need to use Backdate mode because my client already has an entry into the project, and I'm just going to edit that entry once I complete the self-sufficiency matrix. So Backdate mode is not necessary at this time. So I will go to Client Point and look up my client. You can look them up by name or by client ID number. I will go to the Entry/Exit tab, and I will locate the client's entry into my project and edit it in order to access the Self-Sufficiency Matrix assessment. Click Save and Continue to open up your actual Entry/Exit data screen. And in the area right here called Select an Assessment, I will locate the assessment I need and click on it to make it active. Once I do that, the Self-Sufficiency Matrix will open below, as you can see, and you have your options for the entry, the interim, or the exit, depending on what you need to do. Obviously, in this case, I'm going to work on the entry matrix level. So you find the entry matrix and you click Add. And once you do this, the assessment will open up and you will notice that the program entry date will automatically fill in with your project entry date. And then below is each domain and a drop-down list so you can choose which level they're at right now. You can hover or click on each domain to see the definition of the different levels. If you hover, it'll disappear in a few seconds, but if you click on it, it'll stay open for you to read through it until you're done, and then you click OK. Today I'm going to use the actual spreadsheet to go back and forth, but you are welcome just to use this feature right here to know which level to choose. And also keep in mind when you're choosing your different levels, there are options for don't know and not applicable. So for instance, there's a question about childcare or children's education, and if you were working with a single adult or maybe a family with much older children, then these questions might not apply, and then you could choose not applicable. For training today, obviously I will go over every question so that you're aware of the different levels and what they may or may not mean. And also, before I start filling out this assessment, keep this in mind. Right now we're doing the initial assessment, so if I was, say, trying to fill out shelter housing, I need to think about my client's circumstance the night before they entered my project. So, for instance, let's say I worked at an emergency shelter, and the client had been staying at my shelter a few days now before I entered the matrix, but they were actually homeless, sleeping in a car the night before entry. In this case, this entry self-sufficiency matrix about shelter housing should reflect their status of sleeping in the car and not their status of sleeping in my emergency shelter at this time. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer shelter housing. Remember that my example client is someone who is moving into a transitional housing project from emergency shelter. So, shelter housing level 1 means homeless or threatened with eviction. Level 2 means in transitional, temporary, or substandard housing and or their current rent or mortgage payment is unaffordable. Level 3, they're in stable housing that is safe but only marginally adequate. Level 3, household is in safe, adequate, subsidized housing. And Level 5, household is in a safe, adequate, unsubsidized housing. Well, I said my client came to me from an emergency shelter, so that would be a Level 2. So I would choose Level 2 on my matrix. The next one is employment. Level 1 means no job at all. Level 2, temporary, part-time, or seasonal, inadequate pay or no benefits. Level 3 means they're employed full-time, but they have inadequate pay, few or no benefits at all. Level 4 means employed full-time with adequate pay and benefits. And Level 5 maintains permanent employment with adequate income and benefits. So I'm going to say that my client did not have a job when they entered my transitional housing project, so it'd be a Level 1. The next one is income. Level 1, no income at all. Level 2, inadequate income and or spontaneous or inappropriate spending. Level 3, can meet basic needs with subsidy appropriate spending. Level 4, can meet basic needs and manage debt without assistance. And Level 5, income is sufficient, well managed, they have discretionary income and are able to save. So for my example client today, I'm going to say that she doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a job, but he is getting some child support. So that would be a Level 2. Some income, but it's not adequate. The next domain is food and nutrition. Level 1, no food or means to prepare it. Relies to a significant degree on other sources of free or low-cost food. Level 2, household is on food stamps. Level 3, they can meet basic food needs but require occasional assistance. Level 4 can meet basic food needs without assistance. And Level 5 can choose to purchase any food the household desires. So I'm going to say that my family is on food stamps, which is a level 2. The next domain is childcare. Level 1, they need childcare but none is available or accessible and/or the child is not eligible. Level 2, childcare is unreliable or unaffordable. Inadequate supervision is a problem for childcare that is available. Level 3, affordable subsidized childcare is available but it's limited. Level 4, reliable affordable childcare is available, no need for subsidies. And level 5 is able to select quality childcare of their choice. So I'm going to say that they're a level 2. Keep in mind this is one of those domains that may not apply to your client and you can choose not applicable. The next domain is children's education. Level 1, one or more school-aged children are not enrolled in school. Level 2, one or more school-aged children are enrolled in school but they're not attending classes. Level 3, they're enrolled in school but one or more children only occasionally attend classes. Level 4, enrolled in school and attending classes most of the time. And level 5, all school-aged children enrolled and attending on a regular basis. So for my example today, I'm going to say level 3. Next domain, adults education. Level 1, literacy problems and/or no high school diploma, GED are serious barriers to employment. Level 2, enrolled in literacy and/or GED program and/or they have sufficient command of English to where language is not a barrier to employment. Level 3, has a high school diploma or a GED. Level 4, needs additional education training to improve employment situation and/or to resolve literacy problems to where they're able to function effectively in society. And level 5, has completed education training needed to become employable, no literacy problems. So for my example client, I'm going to say they just have their diploma. The next domain is legal. Level 1, current outstanding tickets or warrants. Level 2, current charges, trial pending, non-compliance with probation or parole. Level 3, fully compliant with probation or parole terms. Level 4, has successfully completed probation or parole within the past 12 months, no new charges are filed. And level 5, no active criminal justice involvement in more than 12 months, and/or they have no felony criminal history. So for this example, I'm going to say they have no criminal history. Okay, next domain, healthcare coverage. Level 1, no medical coverage with an immediate need. This means they're ill or they have an injury. Level 2, no medical coverage and great difficulty accessing medical care when needed. Some household members may be in poor health. Level 3, some members, such as children, are on access. Level 4, all members can get medical care when needed, but it may strain the budget. And level 5, all members are covered by affordable, adequate health insurance. I'm going to say that my family is on access, which is level 3. And the next domain is life skills. Level 1, unable to meet basic needs such as hygiene, food, activities of daily living. Level 2, can meet a few but not all needs of living without assistance. Level 3, can meet most but not all daily living needs without assistance. Level 4, able to meet all basic needs of daily living without assistance. And level 5, able to provide beyond basic needs of daily living for self and for family. So I'm going to choose a level 3 because they can't quite meet all their daily living needs on their current income. And next is mental health. Keep in mind we're not asking you to diagnose anyone. You're just going to choose the appropriate level based on your observation of the client. Level 1, they're a danger to self or others, recurring suicidal ideation, and they're experiencing severe difficulty in day-to-day life due to psychological problems. Level 2, recurrent mental health symptoms that may affect behavior but not a danger to self or others, persistent problems with functioning due to mental health symptoms. Level 3, mild symptoms may be present but they are transient, only moderate difficulty in functioning due to mental health problems. Level 4, minimal symptoms that are expectable responses to life stressors, only slight impairment in functioning. And Level 5, symptoms are absent or rare, good or superior functioning in wide range of activities, no more than everyday problems or concerns. So I'm going to choose Level 3. Next is substance abuse. Level 1 meets criteria for severe abuse or dependence, resulting problems so severe that institutional living or hospitalization may be necessary. Level 2 meets criteria for dependence, preoccupation with use and/or obtaining drugs or alcohol. Withdrawal or withdrawal avoidance behaviors are evident. Use results in avoidance or neglect of essential life activities. Level 3, use within last 6 months. Evidence of persistent or recurrent social, occupational, emotional, or physical problems related to the use, such as disruptive behavior or housing problems, and the problems have persisted for at least 1 month. Level 4, client has used during the last 6 months, but no evidence of persistent or recurrent social, occupational, emotional, or physical problems related to the use, and there's no evidence of recurrent dangerous use. And Level 5, no drug abuse or alcohol abuse in the last 6 months. So I'm going to put Level 4. Now we have family relations. Level 1, lack of necessary support from family or friends. Abuse, such as domestic violence or child abuse, is present, and there is even child neglect. Level 2, family or friends may be supportive, but they lack the ability or the resources to help. Family members do not relate well to one another, and there is the potential for abuse or neglect. Level 3, some support from family or friends. Family members acknowledge and seek to change negative behaviors, and they're learning to communicate and support. Level 4, strong support from family or friends. Household members support each other's efforts. And Level 5 has a healthy and expanding support network. Household is stable and communication is consistently open. So I'm going to put Level 3. Next domain is mobility. Level 1, no access to transportation, public or private, may have a car that is inoperable. And please keep in mind when I say public, this means like the public bus system or the light rail. Level 2, transportation is available but unreliable, unpredictable, or unaffordable. They may have a car but no insurance or license. Level 3, transportation is available and reliable but limited and/or inconvenient. Drivers are licensed and minimally insured. Level 4, transportation is generally accessible to meet basic travel needs. And Level 5, transportation is readily available and affordable. They have a car that's adequately insured. So I'm going to choose Level 3 because they don't have a car right now. Next is community involvement. Level 1, it's not applicable because they're in a crisis mode. Level 2, socially isolated and/or no social skills and/or they lack the motivation to become involved. Level 3, they lack knowledge of ways to become involved. Level 4, some community involvement such as advisory or support groups, but they have barriers such as transportation or childcare. And Level 5, actively involved in the community. So I'm going to say a Level 3. Next we have safety. Level 1, home or residence is not safe. Immediate lethality is extremely high, possible CPS involvement. And remember, we're talking about where they were the night before they came into your project. Level 2, safety is threatened, temporary protection is available, level of lethality is high. Level 3, current safety is minimally adequate, ongoing safety planning is essential. Level 4, environment is safe, however, feature of such is uncertain, safety planning is important. And level 5, environment is apparently safe and stable. Since my client came to me from a shelter, I'm going to say a level 4. They were safe, but they need to plan for the future. Next domain is parenting skills. Level 1, there are safety concerns regarding parenting skills. Level 2, parenting skills are minimal. Level 3, parenting skills are apparent but not adequate. Level 4, parenting skills are adequate. And level 5, parenting skills are well developed. I'm going to say a level 3. And then finally we have a credit history. A level 1 means they have no credit history at all. Level 2, they have some outstanding judgments and/or bankruptcy or foreclosure. Level 3, they have a credit repair plan. Level 4, they have moderate credit rating. And level 5, they have good credit and a manageable debt ratio. So I'm going to say a level 4 in this case. So I didn't mention this earlier, but everything, you only have to fill out the domains that are in red bold. All these domains underneath here are completely optional. You are not required to fill them out, and so I'm not going to show them to you today. So I've completed my 18 domains that are in red, so I can click Save to save my initial matrix. Okay. And then I have to scroll to the bottom and click Save and Exit to exit the assessment and return to my Entry Exit Preview pane. Remember, if you're working with a family that has more than one adult, you would need to switch to the other adult in the household using the Switch to Another Household Member feature, and you would do the Self-Sufficiency Matrix on that other adult as well. Now let's pretend that 6 months have gone by, and this is a transitional housing project, so I need to do my matrix every 6 months. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to change, and I'm going to get into backdate mode to 6 months from their entry. So that would be 8, oops, yeah, it's easier if you clear this out first. 8/15/2014. Their entry was April, so 6 months later would be August. Click Set Backdate. And normally, obviously, you would go to Client Point and look up your client in the system. But I'm already on the screen, so we're going to stay here. So you would pull up your client, you'd be in the correct backdate mode, and then to do that update or interim matrix, you go to the Entry Exit tab, and you click on your interims icon. Then you click Add an Interim Review, and you choose which review you want to use. Historically, we had many different options for interim reviews, but since the data standards updates on 10/1/2014, you should only use these two at the top, either update or annual assessment. We have not removed your other options so that we don't lose the historical data entered there, but going forward, like I said, you should only use update or annual assessment. So this is an update, right? It's 6 months, it's not a year. And then click Save and Continue. Again, you would locate your Self-Sufficiency Matrix assessment and click on it. Oops. Sorry about that. Self-Sufficiency Matrix assessment. All right. And then we already did our entry, and now it's time to do the interim matrix. So I'm going to click on Add. And there's a few more fields you have to fill out up at the top this time. First, it wants to know what was their program or project entry date. Now this is automatically filling in with my back date, but this was not their entry date. Their entry date was February 15th, 2014. So be sure to change this to their actual entry date. Then it wants to know what day are you doing the interim matrix on. That is today's date or my backdate date. So to make it quick and easy, I'm just going to click my calendar with a green check mark and it fills in my interim date. And then it wants to know what evaluation period are we doing. So we are doing a 6-month evaluation. And then it goes into your domains. So for shelter housing, I'm going to say level 3 because they're still in transitional housing. Actually, that's level 2, sorry. Employment, I'm going to say they got a job, but it doesn't pay too well, but that would be a level 3. Income has gone up a little bit, but still not great at 6 months. Their family is still on food stamps. Childcare has improved a little bit. Children are going to school on a regular basis now. Parent has enrolled in some training to get a better job. Legal issues are the same. They don't have any outstanding legal issues. Healthcare coverage still on access. Life skills have improved a little bit. Mental health improved a little bit because the family is stabilizing. Substance abuses, it's been more than 6 months since they've used now, so I'll put a level 5. Family relations improved a little bit. Mobility, they have insurance on their car now, say, because they have a job. Community involvement, about the same. Safety is the same. Parenting skills have improved a little bit, and their credit history, I can't remember what it was, is about the same. So then you click Save, and there you go. You have your interim matrix done. Again, if there was other adults in the household, you would switch to them and do their matrix. Click Save and Exit, and then exit your interim review window, and you're back on your preview pane, and you can see an interim was done on 8/15. Finally, let's say the client decided to exit the project and go into a rental apartment on, let's say, November 20th. So I'm going to change my backdate mode to 11/20/2014. And I'm going to exit the family from the project. Now, you could go ahead and exit them the normal way and then go back and fill in the exit matrix assessment later. Totally possible, but in this case, since we're training, I'm going to go ahead and create my exit date right now. I'm not going to fill out the other exit assessments, but I will show you the self-sufficiency matrix. So reason for leaving, and they move to a rental, no subsidy. You would fill out your exit assessment as usual, but in this case, I'm just going to talk about self-sufficiency. So you click on the self-sufficiency matrix, and you scroll down and you find your exit matrix and click the Add button. Program exit date fills in automatically, so we're good. And then you have your 18 domains. So shelter housing, they have an apartment. Employment, they got a somewhat better job. Income is adequate. Food and nutrition, they're off food stamps and they're supplying their own food for the family. Childcare is about the same. Children are going to school all the time. Adult is still in classes. No legal issues. Let's say the adult's new job has healthcare coverage now. So they are covered by employer-paid health insurance and not on access anymore. Life skills have improved tremendously. Mental health is great. Substance abuse. Family relations are getting better and better. Mobility is great. Community involvement has improved a little. Safety is good. Their new environment is safe and secure. Parenting skills have improved a lot, and their credit history is about the same. So then you just click Save to save your exit matrix. And then Save and Exit to exit the assessment and return to the Entry-Exit Preview pane. Okay, so before we wrap things up, let's go over a summary of some of the key points we talked about today. So number 1, the self-sufficiency matrix should be completed on all adults staying in your project. Number 2, there are 18 required domains in the self-sufficiency matrix. Number 3, those 18 domains are shelter housing, employment, income, food, childcare, children's education, adult education, legal, healthcare coverage, life skills, mental health, substance abuse, family relations, mobility, community involvement, safety, parenting skills, and credit history. Number 4, the self-sufficiency matrix should never be filled out by the client. It is the case manager's responsibility to complete the tool. Number 5, the self-sufficiency matrix assessment should always be accessed through the Entry-Exit tab on the client record. And number 6, the self-sufficiency matrix should be completed at these intervals. Emergency shelters should do them at entry and at exit. Transitional housing should do them at entry every 6 months and at exit. And permanent supportive housing should do them at entry every year and at exit. Okay, by following these steps and working through the examples, you've completed training on Case Management 205, the Self-Sufficiency Matrix. As a reminder, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the HMIS Help Desk via email at hmissupport@cir.org or by phone or text at 602-908-3605. Thank you, and please refer back to your training confirmation email for further instructions.